phone.
Yeah, you iced out. I see you. You iced out over there, Beamer.
All right, let's talk. Talk to me, DLane.
I'm ready. I got my trap coverage right here.
Every day.
You ready for my trap coverage? I don't think you're ready for my trap coverage. I got written up over here.
I'm ready for anything you got, brother. Trust me.
I'm just messing with you. How you doing today, though, baby? You been staying safe, Coach?
I am. I've been, it's tough, right, with all this going on, with no football now until spring, with all the deaths and the different things. It's just a tough time right now for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so, I talk to people. I try to make sure that they're doing okay. And then, think about this, right? We got COVID, right? We got all these different things. And then we got all the social injustices going around, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just a day of reckoning of what's going on, right? It's like we really need to stand by each other. I sent a text to all my friends, not all, but most of my friends on my phone, my black friends. I just want to let them know that I stand next to them, right? I hear them, I love them, and I'm gonna always be next to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I told
it's
Zay,
a weird time right now.
Yeah, I told Zay, my co-host, a few weeks ago. We had a pod and we was touching on a few things, and I said I feel like more now than ever, being at least for my generation. I don't know about yours. You could maybe speak on it. I feel like this is like the most united we've been, especially as far as feeling it from our white counterparts. Like I feel like. You feel me? The people, my white counterparts that's around my age and from my era, I feel like they've been on the front lines more than ever that I've ever seen on the protest front lines.
It's like we have to all stand together, right? We're in this together. You know what I mean? And until we can recognize that we were all created equal, right? We all strive. That's one of the things I love about football, right? When you get on that field, this color is the color of the uniform, right? We all here together, And so I think we lose that sight, we forget about it, right? And then we spend too much time looking at differences instead of realizing how much we have in common, right? And then, with this guy in the White House, he's scapegoating everybody, right?
Yeah.
So, he's putting down folks, like pointing out these things like, oh, this is what's happening, trying to, get people to feel anger to each other, right? Instead of trying to build consensus and love with each other. That's a tough time, dude.
I wanted to know, how's your out of state players doing? I know it's probably definitely difficult for them right now.
Well, in some ways it is, in some ways it's not, because they went home, right?
Okay.
And so they've been able to go home, spend time with their loved ones, spend time at home, so they're saving on rent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's all the same whether you're in state or out of state, because right now it's trying to keep everybody motivated to learn online. That's not easy, right?
No, not at all.
It's hard enough sometimes just going to school, but now you have to be so disciplined that you're at home. There's no coach, there's no teachers telling you to be in class on time, right? Got to get on your iPad or your computer, or many guys are using their phones, right?
Yeah.
And then you got to hope that you can get online, that you have a good enough Wi-Fi connection or hotspot. So that's difficult, but all our guys went home for the most part. Yeah, they all went home, and they're able to stay safe with their own families, right? So that's good.
What about your coaching staff? They've been solid?
I think so. We have a weekly check-in, making sure everybody's okay, kind of talk about different things that's going on, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's COVID-19, whether is the season going to happen or not happen, right? So we try to look at all those different things, and then hear everybody's point of view, right? And so I want to hear them. I want to hear what's going on, right? I want to hear what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I think it's important, right? For, we got, Deco's point of view is really important. Derek's point of view, Coach Kev, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to go back and get Coughlin and Ramos so they can see what their point of view is too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hagenson, right? Myself. So you go, okay, but, what is it that's going on out there that has made all this happen? Like, is it okay to put your knee on someone's neck for 8 minutes, right? We couldn't have come up with a different way.
Man, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And how many times does it have to happen, right? How many incidents of this type of brutality, of injustice has to occur before people start to stand up? Well, maybe this was the last straw, like you had said, right? Everybody's starting to come together now, right?
Yeah.
Across the country. But I also thought it was interesting, not only across the country, but across the globe, right?
Yeah.
In other countries, they were protesting as well, right? And that was huge.
Yeah, that I just feel like the unity is there more than ever. I just feel like right now we just got to continue on educating each other. I think Deco called me about a week ago, and we just talked about that, and he was saying, everybody has to be like, we talked about the Drew Brees incident, and we were saying people need to understand Drew needs to be comfortable with coming out and saying that, but we also need to be comfortable with saying, but that's not right. This is the way, just being okay and being accepting to being educated on the issues at hand.
No, exactly right. It's the things that happen, right? I'm a man of color myself, right? But I still can't be in your shoes, right? You know what I mean? If I go out to San Ramon, I stick out, right? Mm-hmm. But in Oakland, I don't necessarily. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so there's a huge difference. I can't understand some of the things that you or DG or D go through every day. I can get some of it at times, but not on a daily basis, right? Yeah. And I always want to think that, the key is, this is what I talk to Derek all the time. My whole deal is get your education, get that paper, and that doors will open for you, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem is that what you don't understand, or what I have to understand, is that if you get pulled over by the police, ain't no one looking at that paper in your pocket. You ain't carrying it, right? You don't have it you don't have that degree on your chest. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And so he sees you as this black male thug living, from Oakland or whatever. And then, he doesn't see that you're an educated young man that's overcome, working in the system to help the next generation, right? Yeah. Or your pod, your partner right here, he's got a job with one of the top internet companies. You know what I mean? Yeah. He don't see that. He just see the color of the man's skin, right? And that's the difference we got to look at. We got to start seeing people as individuals. We can't group folks in.
I seen one college football player had a sign during the protest where it was like, I wonder if America will feel for me once I'm done. It, like, said something along the lines, I wonder if they'll still treat me the same once I'm not a college football player.
Oh, 100%. That's the question, right? That's your label, right? Yeah. And that's the wrapping around the package or the box, right? But what's inside should be what counts. Yeah. It's not the wrapping, right? Yeah. I mean, think about it. You have a heart and you have a soul and you have your beliefs. I can't see those, right? But I have those same things. And many of those things are going to be similar, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to have the same similar thing, but we don't get past the wrapping, right, of what the package looks like. Yeah.
Definitely. Let's transition a little bit, shift the energy. Last Chance U, baby. Okay. Well, we got a week and a half until Last Chance U comes
28, out. Yeah, July 28th, brother. It's coming out.
Okay, let's talk about it. How you feel like Oakland got portrayed well? Oakland, Laney College in general?
I don't know. I won't know because I haven't seen it yet,
okay,
right?
Yeah, nobody's seen it. Okay.
I'm stuck out here like everybody else. Okay. The only thing I knew was that the trailer was coming out the next day. They sent me an email, gave me a heads up. It's coming out. Talked to the people a little bit. And then it came out. Not only did I not know, but the producer didn't know that this was the last year of it. No one knew anything. Right?
Yeah, we all just seen that. Bam. Yeah. I seen that
because
on
they
Twitter.
were all set to come back, right? They kept telling me, hey, we're going to come back. We're looking forward to it. And then all of a sudden, boom, it was gone. Hey, what happened?
Okay. Well, let's talk about last year's team. Do you feel like last year's team ever reached their full potential? Did they ever hit, or did they leave something to be desired? Did they?
We looked at it, because of COVID, I've been able to watch a lot of film, right? Sitting at home. And, we were what we were, right? We were a young, inexperienced team, but because of injuries, we didn't reach our potential, right? But even though you look at some of the games that we had, so, ARC is in the playoffs, right? Well, we lost 15, 14, or 13, something like that, right? We're right in the game with them without a real quarterback, right? We played San Mateo, the number one team in the country, who lost at the Boston State Championship. We were down. We were ready to tie the game up in the fourth quarter when we just blew it. You know what I mean? And we had, 6 or 7 defensive starters out that game. But the heartbreak probably was the bowl game, right? The loss at the bowl game. We're ready to tie the game up. We throw a pick on the fourth quarter, right, like on the 10-yard line. You know what I mean?
Who you guys have for the bowl game?
But it just happens, right?
Who you guys have for the bowl game?
Yeah.
Who you guys?
Sierra College.
Okay.
We had Sierra College, So I think that was that game, really hurt. Plus, we were coming off an emotional day because the day before, Ramona had passed away, you know what I mean? And so that was really heartbreaking for everybody. When you have a 19-year-old kid that's young and vibrant a year ago, helping us win get to the state championship, and not even a year later, he passes away from cancer. That was tough, man.
I met Ramon's parents briefly at the All-Star game where I seen Ryback.
Okay.
We did. We donated everything, all proceeds, everything went to his family. I think the MVP award, everything was named after the young man. His family was very lovely and sweet, and condolences to him and his family. I think he had a baby girl as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, he broke his leg the week after we beat San Mateo in the first round of the playoff game.
So was he on the championship
team? He had like 2.5 sacks and like a couple tackles for losses, right?
He was on the championship team.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but then he couldn't play in the last 2 games because his leg was broken. That's when they found out he had cancer. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's playing on a leg that has a tumor. Right, he's had 2 sacks. Think about that with a tumor.
That's crazy.
Right, growing through his body. It's like, oh my God. And then he passes away. Or takes his first, next journey. Right, depending on how you want to look at it. Less than a year later, it was heartbreaking, heart wrenching.
Yeah. That's man. What about some of your favorite moments from last season, though, Beam? Every team, is different. I remember you said that each year is a new family. Every family, has good and bad moments. You got some favorite moments that you think might arise on the show?
I think it was what I hope everybody understands the difference between California Community College and National JC is that. And this, right? You have to pay to struggle, right? You're not living in a dorm. You're not having a meal plan. It's a struggle, right?
Yeah.
You got to do,
definitely.
And, you got like in the trailer, you got New talking about, he was working a minimum wage job before he decided to come back to school and go play football, right? He got a wife and 2 kids, and he's got to go work every day. Dior, our best receiver, had to play quarterback. He's working at Wingstop until midnight. Then he got to do his homework, and then he got to come back to school and practice. So that's what I hope they see, And then, like, for him, he was, because of his family situation, he was couch surfing. He ain't slept in it. He didn't have his own bed for like 4 years. So he went to Hawaii. He was in tears when he finally got his own bedroom and a bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So I hope people understand the struggle that the kids in California have to go through. Not that every kid has struggles. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little different struggle.
Yeah, that is for sure a different struggle. Coach, what do you feel is left in your career for you to do? Like, do you feel accomplished already, or do you feel like it's some things you're still striving for? Personally for yourself.
Yeah, I think it's like this, right? I tell people when the kids start telling me, I've coached kids in the NFL. I've been able to be on the Super Bowl field with confetti coming down when one of my boys won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I've been honored as a coach of the year. I'm in the Hall of Fame. So the football stuff is not what happened. What I have to still accomplish, right, is to continue to make an impact on young men's lives and young people's lives, right? To open the door, right, so that people like you can continue to do what they need to do and get to where they need to be, but also where other folks from a different communities that come to Laney can understand that they're all the same, that there aren't differences, right? Yeah. That Black Lives Matter, that justice needs to happen, that we have to step out and talk about it, right? And be able to speak on it, right? All that, to me, is still an ongoing thing, right? I don't think we'll ever be done with that, nor will I ever be done with that, right? So I want to continue doing that, whether I'm on the field doing it, if I'm doing it in the community somehow, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I don't think it ends, But as far as the football, been there, done that, and I love it. But what it is a vehicle, right? Yeah. It's a vehicle for change, right? So I can help be in this vehicle to help change occur.
Definitely, Coach, man. Again, I appreciate you for throwing me the live, me and Zay, the 510 Huddle podcast before the season started. I appreciate you even more now. It's about to come out. Keep doing what you do. You're a legend, whether you know it or not, Coach, in Oakland. I knew about you when I was a kid, about from older people just telling me about you. So, Coach, trust me, man, you definitely done your work, and we definitely appreciate you and love you, man, for everything you done.
But the work's not done. Do we agree that the work's not done?
No, sir. No, it's every day. It's every day. Step. Yeah.
Every day, right? Yeah. So you're still conscious of what it is that the things that I'm trying to do, you're trying to do as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Because when you do your podcast, you're showing someone that your dream is still alive. You haven't let your dream stop, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what you're doing, man. So that's what, like dream. We keep dreams alive. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Hope and opportunity, baby. Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Coach. Hey, we'll see you on July 28th, right?
28th, brother. I'll be there somewhere.
All right, Coach. Hey, you stay safe, man. All right, Coach Beamer. Appreciate you, baby.
Stay safe, brother. Take care. Appreciate it. Love you, man. Take care.
You too, man. Bye.